The United States is going to make a real run at this World Cup, and it's got almost nothing to do with the team you watched lose to Germany last week. I know how that sounds. The golden generation that keeps underwhelming, the shaky gold cup, the team that's only in the conversation because the tournament happens to be in their backyard. That story is missing something. The single biggest structural advantage any team has ever carried into a World Cup, and almost nobody is saying it out loud. So for the next 10 minutes, I'm going to stack the numbers on the table. By the end, you're going to look at this team completely differently. And if deep US run just made you roll your eyes, good. Smash that like button and let's settle this with data instead of vibes. So here's the story everybody already agreed on. This was supposed to be the golden generation. Pulisic at AC Milan, McKennie at Juventus, Adams, Robinson, Dest, Americans starting for real European clubs. The most talented group this country has ever produced. And every time they pull on the shirt together, it's fine. Just fine. Then June 6th happens. The final tune-up before the biggest tournament in American soccer history. And Germany walks in and beats them 6 days before kickoff, and they can't get a result when it matters. So the take writes itself. The Gold Cup form was uneven. The friendlies didn't sparkle. The window closed and the doubts got louder. So the casual fan files it away. They're hosts. Nice atmosphere, maybe a round of 16. Thanks for coming. And honestly, even American fans are saying it, especially American fans. We've been burned by the hype train before. And look, I get it. Low expectations feel safe. Nobody wants to be the guy who talked up the USMNT one more time and ate it in the group chat. Here's the problem. That entire story runs on vibes. Not one sentence of it survives contact with the actual numbers. Let me show you what everyone's missing. Let's actually look at it. Pay attention to this part. FIFA ranks the United States 16th in the world. Now, 16th doesn't sound sexy until you look at Group D. Turkey ranked below them. Australia, below them. Paraguay, below them. The United States is the highest ranked team in its own group, and nobody frames it that way. Not the previews, not the panel shows, nobody. The betting markets already figured it out. USA to win Group D, plus 125 to plus 150 at every major book. The favorite. Turkey sits at plus 175. Paraguay's out at plus 400. Australia's at 8 to 1. No dominant favorite anywhere in the group. It's genuinely open. And the open group's favorite is the team everyone just wrote off. And here's the number that should end the only relevant because they're hosting argument. The models give the United States an 83% chance to get out of Group D. 83. And a 40% chance to win the group outright. The best number of any team in it. That's not host nation charity. That's the highest ranked team in the group, priced as the favorite at every single book. The team you wrote off is the team the math likes most. Now look at the squad. This is where the lazy take really falls apart. 13 of the 26 players on this roster have never played a single World Cup match. 13. Exactly half. The other half went to the round of 16 in Qatar. So when people say same old team that keeps underwhelming, it is literally not the same team. Pochettino tore out half of it and rebuilt it. And here's the part that should stop you cold. Before the draw, the US was 66 to 1 to win the whole tournament. After the draw came out, 50 to 1. The number moved in their direction. Ask yourself, when's the last time a mediocre team's title odds got shorter the second the bracket was revealed? So which is it? A team that's only here for the party? Or the favorite in its group with shortening odds and a rebuilt roster? The markets, the rankings, the models, they all point the same direction. The only thing pointing the other way is the vibes. And I haven't even shown you the big one yet. Actually, before I do, pick a side. What carries the US deeper into this tournament? Pulisic at his absolute peak, or the home soil advantage I'm about to break down? Don't say both. One or the other in the comments. I'm reading every single one. Okay, here's the thing nobody is talking about. This World Cup has 3 hosts and 104 matches. Quick math question. How many of those 104 do you think land on US soil? 78. 78 of 104. Canada and Mexico split the leftovers. That's wild on its own. That's not the reveal. Every knockout match from the quarterfinals to the final is in the United States. Every single one. Sit with that. Every quarterfinal, both semifinals, the final itself. MetLife Stadium, July 19th. All of it, American soil, which means something that has never been true for any team in World Cup history. If the United States makes a run, they cannot be sent on a long-haul away trip in the business end of this tournament. It's structurally impossible. The deepest, heaviest, most exhausting rounds of the World Cup are home games. All of them. Compare that to every other contender. They're crisscrossing a continent, 3 countries, time zone to time zone, flight after flight after flight, at exactly the point in the tournament where legs go heavy and squads go thin. The U.S. is sleeping in its own beds, and it starts before the knockouts. Look at the group schedule. Paraguay in Los Angeles, Australia in Seattle, Turkey back in Los Angeles. A settled West Coast base, packed buildings, zero travel chaos, while everybody else is living out of a suitcase. This is where Pochettino's rebuild stops being a footnote and becomes the whole plan. The man ran Tottenham, PSG, and Chelsea, and his teams press. Tyler Adams hunting the ball. Tillman and the new legs around him running teams into the ground. Pressing burns energy. Energy is exactly what this schedule keeps handing back to them. Fresh legs in a knockout round isn't a nice to have. It's a weapon. So the question was never, is the U.S. good enough on paper? The question is, what happens when a top 16 team gets a tournament built like this around it? And the man set up to cash all of it in? He's having the best statistical stretch of his life. So who turns a structural edge into actual goals? Christian Pulisic, the captain. 84 caps, 33 goals. 4th on the all-time USMNT scoring list, 1 goal behind 3rd place. He just dropped 2 goal contributions on Senegal this month. This isn't the teenager America fell in love with, and it's not a marketing story. This is a player at his statistical peak, walking into a tournament where the biggest games are home games. He's not carrying it alone anymore, though. That's the whole point of the 13 newcomers. Start with Folarin Balogun, Monaco striker. In 2023, this man had a choice between England and the United States, and he picked the United States. Sit with that for a second. A striker England wanted looked at this project, this setup, this tournament, and chose it. He's the headliner of the 13, and that decision tells you what players inside the game actually think about where this is going. And bridging the two halves, Tyler Adams, Qatar holdover, midfield engine, the heartbeat of Pochettino's press. The 2022 core didn't get replaced. It got reinforced. Now, I'm not going to sell you a flawless team. Here's the one real crack in all of this. They lost their last tune-up to Germany, June 6th, and the Gold Cup run before that was genuinely uneven. That's real. That's exactly why expectations are this low. And honestly, the low expectations aren't crazy. Here's what a June friendly can't do, though. It can't change the ranking. It can't change the draw. It can't move the quarterfinals out of the United States. Form is a question mark. Every team in this tournament has one. The structure is set in concrete, and the structure is the bet. So here's the case closed. Everybody's selling you a team that only matters because of its zip code. The data says highest ranked team in Group D, the favorite at every book, 83% to advance. Half the roster rebuilt under Pochettino. A captain, 1 goal from 3rd all time. And every knockout round from the quarters on, a home game. No team in the history of this tournament has ever had that. The United States isn't interesting because they're hosting. They're dangerous because of what they're hosting. A bracket built like a runway. So, real question. If the U.S. makes the semifinals, is that a shock? Or did we all just refuse to read the numbers? Go. Bottom line, the United States is set up for a deeper run than anybody's admitting, and the schedule is the weapon nobody's pricing in. And next time, we're breaking down a player nobody is talking about, a name you're gonna know by July. If you're new here, this is what we do every single day until July 19th. Hit subscribe. Casual Fan HQ. Sports. Explained for the rest of us.